What's up, everyone? This is Black-Haired Shanks here, and we're here for another One Piece review for chapter 916. I will have to go on and say I have been hyped to read the next chapter for an entire week. I've been excited. So let's just jump right into it. Basically, if you start out, you'll see the cover of this week's Shonen Jump actually has a crossover between One Piece and McDonald's. You have Luffy eating a burger, which is par for the course with Luffy. And it was just, living here in the States, you kind of forget that One Piece is that big, that it is sponsored by a lot of huge brands over there in Japan. And this includes McDonald's, Pepsi, Domino's, all kinds of cool stuff. So I thought that was interesting. So we actually got this really cool color spread this week. It's to give us this really awesome, stylish summer color spread. Of course, we've got a little bit of fan service in there, but I love the colors. Oda's art is amazing, as I have gushed about it several times already. So the chapter actually begins very action-packed. You have the Yokozuna, who is very pissed off by this point. You had the fact that Okiku chopped off his top knot, which I explained last time that that's a very dishonorable thing for samurai. And he goes in to attack her, and Luffy steps up to the plate and counters his sumo attack. It's really interesting to see Luffy attack at the same time, and they both kind of ricocheted off of one another. That was interesting, to say the least. We then get ready for an actual legitimate sumo wrestling match between the Yokozuna and Luffy. And what I loved about this was Oda threw in this little name blurb for Luffy, giving him this brand new name, Luffy no Umi, and even gave him a sumo wrestling record, saying that it was 1-0 against Usopp. I've tried to scour my brain remembering if they ever had a sumo wrestling match, which I believe they did in that One Piece Film Gold special. So, confirmation, some of that might be canon? So anyway, you have the Yokozuna doing a flurry of attacks, sumo wrestling attacks, and I love that Luffy is just dodging them with ease, which I am theorizing this is him using his new observation haki that he developed during the fight with Katakuri. I mean, he's got his eyes closed during this. He's hopping over the attacks, he's jumping over the attacks, he's smiling while doing it. I loved it. We then cut to Hold'em, who still has a hold of Otama, and he's actually trying to pinch the mochi or whatever that was that she pulled off of her cheeks a few chapters ago. She's pleading and she's telling him, listen, I'll give you the baboon back and stuff like that. And all of a sudden he gets a call, and they're complaining about this sumo wrestling match going on downtown and yada yada, and he doesn't seem to care. And we have some little character moments where we actually cut back to Law and Beppo. Beppo is sick because he's been eating out of the river. I don't know if this is for comedy or if it's going to actually be something that is greater importance down the line. We also see that Hawkins is running towards Bakura Town, which I'm anxious to see if he is loyal to Kaido or not. I'm wondering if we're going to have a very similar situation to Beg. So then we cut to Luffy's grand finale finish of the Yokozuna. He uses a brand new attack, the Gomu Gomu no Giant Supari, which I'm supposing that's a sumo wrestling term. I'm not an avid fan of sumo wrestling, so if anyone knows that, tell me what it is in the comments. He hits the Yokozuna. The Yokozuna goes flying through Bakura Town, smashing through buildings. And it turns out he lands smack dab into Hold'em's building. We also then get this really awesome panel of Luffy, Zoro, and Okiku standing together. I've seen memes on the internet saying the brand new monster trio, and I can't help but say, yes! I so want Okiku to be a Straw Hat. I know that it's way too early to be saying things like that, but I would love to have a character like that in the Straw Hat crew. And let's face it, Sanji has been a disappointment since the New World, and we need a new Monster Trio third member. So we then have the Gifters attacking the trio. You've got Luffy going in, Zoro going in. Okiku's kind of hesitant. She's like, should I do this? And Zoro's telling her, hey, you need to cut through these guys, and stuff like that in order to save Otama. We then have Hold'em pop up, and he basically telling him, hey, you destroyed my castle, who are you, and stuff like that. And Luffy's telling him, he's like, you've got my friend, give her back. And he's got her in the jaws of the lion on his stomach, and he's threatening to crush her. And the chapter ends with Luffy, Zoro, and Okiku getting ready to face off against Hold'em. We have Hawkins headed towards Bakura Town, and Law seems to be headed that way as well. What I'm hoping for is a complete free-for-all. I would love to see a complete, just free-for-all fight between all these forces. Overall, this chapter was awesome. You know, people on the internet have this habit of being like, well, it's going slow, and I try to tell them all the time, it's like, there's a thing called build-up. We have to build up. But then sometimes Oda just completely surprises me, and he gives us a chapter that is just so action-packed and full of just beautiful art and humor, and I loved this week's chapter. I definitely give it a 5 out of 5. I had so much fun with this chapter. It's got me excited about the next one. Unfortunately, we're on break next week, so we'll have to wait a little bit longer, but it's okay. I had so much fun with this chapter that I'll probably just keep rereading it for the rest of this week. There's just various things going on right now that I'm excited about. I'm excited to see Law, of course, show back up. I can't wait to see his reunion with Luffy and try to maybe find out a little more on what's actually going on in Wano and Kinemon's plan and stuff like that. Again, what I said about Hawkins, I'm excited to see if he truly is loyal to Kaido or not. I feel like he's got plans, but we'll have to wait and see. And just overall, it was a great chapter. I loved it. I could gush about this chapter for hours, but yeah, that's my review for One Piece chapter 916. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and yeah, I've got more videos coming out for the rest of this week, and just stay tuned. I'll see you guys next time. Yo!